In HTML, we have two type of tags. In HTML, first what we have, collections of tags. These tags are of two types. Tags are two types. Tags are of two types. Tags are of two types. What are those? Those are called input tag, and another one is called output tag. Input tag and output tag. That was the first point what we discussed. Input tag and output tag. Next, after that, we have written total 6 points, where we have discussed 4 more points was there, where we have discussed the behavior of HTML tags. First line we have written called dependent tag, DEPN, dependent tag. Second point what we have written, independent tag. Third point what was that, block level tag. The fourth point is inline tag. Okay. Dependent, independent, block and inline. So total overall what we have discussed this all, it was discussion about 6 points. So the first is called what we are going to study in HTML. Then the answer is we are going to study about the tags. What is the tag and how to use. Then question came in mind, okay, if there is a lot of tags, then it has different type also. Then yes, it has a different type. One where we collect the input from user, that is called input tag. Another where we display the output, that is called output tag. I will write again that short line of answer. It used to collect input from user. It used to collect information from user. Better, information from user. Okay. Output tag, what is do? It used to give slash display information to user. Okay, so input tag, via input tag we collect the information from user, and via output tag we give the information to user. Then dependent tag, what is that? One line definition we have written called those tags that has separate open and separate open and separate close. For example, HTML tag is open separate and HTML tag close separate. For example, body tag open separate and body tag close also separate. So if you find any kind of tag like this, then it is called a dependent tag. Open and close is compulsory. Next, another one was independent tag. So there we have written one single line of definition saying like those tags that has only open, comma, it will self close. For example, here slash will come in the last, open and close automatically. Slash img tag open and close will happen automatically. Plus hello tag, open and close will happen automatically. There is no separate closing for that. It's open and close together. That was under the yesterday discussion. Same thing I repeated again. Now block level tag, what it says? It says those tags, those tags that print a statement, statement in new line by default. This what is like? Suppose you printed as a high, you are printing high will come in one line. Again, if you print how are you will go to the new line. So if your output is getting printed in the new line always, then you can say yes, it is a block level tag. Example, once we implement, you will come to know. Next, after that, right here, inline tags. Those tags, those tags that print a statement, in same line by default. That print the statement in the same line by default. Like suppose you printed hi, again you printed is a hello. Hi and hello will print in the same line. It's called as a inline tag. So this overall 5-6 point we have discussed yesterday. If anyone has missed out, you can make a note of this. Plus we have written how to create the HTML file. What should be the valid extension of HTML file? Let me write one more line here. The valid extension of HTML files. The valid extension of HTML file, what are those? That's one call any file name .html, and second one any file name .htm. L is optional. So that was till here yesterday we have discussed, and then we have end the classes. So if you are absent, please make a note of this. Then from here we'll continue next. We will understand how to create folder, how to create the file, how to run the HTML. Yes, it's compulsory to close. If you not close, then certain technology will work, all technology will work. Not open tag, it's called a self-closing tag. Self-closing tag will close. I have written here yesterday. If you write like this, it will have error in some technology. If you write like this, it will work in all the technology. Like where it will be the error? Error will be under the Angular or React. Angular have a parser called template parser that check whether your tag is following the rule or not. React has a parser called JSX. If you will not follow the rule, it will throw the error, your page will not compile. Okay, hope we done, written it. Where it was here. These all are the blocks we have to write. Okay, next we are going to create a folder in your system wherever you want. You create a folder, give the folder name called HTML. Create a folder called HTML. Under the HTML folder, we will create the files. All HTML related example will go to the HTML folder. Further again, we'll create different type of other example. Like in HTML also have multiple topics. So if required, we will create another folder also. HTML example 1, example 2, HTML particular topic, particular topic. But now you can start from the HTML folder. There all the files of today will go to the HTML folder only. From there we'll run and we'll see how that works. Okay, so hope you created a folder. Give the folder name called HTML in your system wherever you want. Create a folder, give the folder name called HTML. You have carried the laptop. Okay, create folder called HTML. So hope you are following me. You follow the and you created a folder called HTML. Now which editor you are using? If you are using other editor, you can follow that. I have guided you to use the Notepad++ for 1 month. If you are using the Notepad++, open that, go to your system, search like this, Notepad, Notepad++, you search, it will open here. Just click on that. Notepad++ will get open. If you are using other editor, then I hope you can manage that. After opening the Notepad++, go to the new file. Go to the new file. Inside the new file, inside the new file, you can write anything ABCD. Anything you write. After that, Control S you can press. Save this file under the HTML folder. 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 Give the file name example1 1.html. Example1.html. You can write the file extension .html. Example1.html. Hope you save the file. You can verify your folder also. Go to the HTML folder and check there. You have a file example1.html. You can go to your folder and under the HTML folder check the file is there or not. Example1.html. Example1.html file should be there. If the file is exist, just double click on that. It will open in any browser. If the file is exist in the folder, double click on that. It will open in browser. Inside the file you have written ABCD, whatever you want, no problem. Just file name you saved as a what? .html. Double click on the file. Double click if we do, it will open in the default browser, whichever is your default browser, and in that it will show you ABCD which text we have written. ABCD whichever you have written, you can write there. You can let me know in the chat. Are you able to run the file? Yes, no, you can reply in the chat. Save the file, go to the folder, double click on file and check it should work. That is the one way. You can go to your folder and double click on file, it will run from there. If you are using this editor Notepad++, it has another option to run from there. It has another option to run from there. What is that? You can see there is a view menu here. View menu is there. Under the view menu, there is option called view current file in. You have option called view current file in. View current file in. View current file in. You have option here Mozilla, Chrome, Edge, right? Multiple options are there. So suppose in your system Chrome is available, you can select the Chrome. If in your system Edge is available, you will select the Edge. If a Firefox you have in a computer, you can select the Firefox. Anyone, whichever you select, your browser will get open in, the page will get open in that particular browser. Where is that? Under the view menu, view current file in, where Chrome or Mozilla, Firefox or Edge or anything. Suppose I select the Chrome, so I can see my file will get open in the Chrome automatically. Try any of the option, go to your folder, double click on file. Anyone who is not able to run the page? Okay, so hope you got idea how to create a file and run it. So we will leave that file for you both running. Which is running? You created the file. Just do no. Create the file example1.html. File is kept outside. Go to the editor, go to the file again. Save as, double click on the folder. Yes, again keep the file name, example1.html. Okay, go here, go to the folder now. File will be inside. This is the file. Yes. In editor, go to the editor. Okay, so next what we have to do, let's create one more file. So you can go to again editor and here you have option. You have option here again file, new option is there, or there is a plus button. Plus button, you have new plus button. You can click on new plus button. After that, what will happen? After clicking on new plus button, you will be able to create a new file. In this file again, write ABCD something and then click on save button. ABCD, click on save button and save this file also under the HTML folder. Same way we created the new file and wrote something. And after that we go on to the save button. Under the file also you have the save or control S also you can do. Control plus S you can press. And then under the HTML folder, save as example2.html. Example2.html and example2.html. And if you want to run the file, you will follow the same method. Go to the folder, double click on file. You will go to the folder, double click on file, it will get open. Or other option is go to the view menu. Under the view menu, you have option called view current file in. Again, select the respective browser. Output will come. View current file in. Select the respective browser. Again, your page will appear in the browser. Whichever ABCD we have written, it should appear under the browser. right? So second page also you are able to run. So hope you understood how to create a file, what should be the file extension, and how to run it. Okay, how to create a file, what should be the file extension, and how to run it. Next, under the example 2 folder, running example 2. Okay, under the example 2 folder, we will not write directly like this ABCD ABCD. We have to follow in systematic way. There we will write the proper HTML tags and all. So you can delete all the content from the example 2 file, and and we have written in developer guide today one note. That note was about this dependent tag and independent tag. Okay, dependent and independent. So when we use any kind of editor, maybe you are using the Notepad++, you are using the NetBeans Eclipse, or maybe VS Code, multiple editors we have in the market. If you are using the editor, many editors are there. There, the configuration is already enabled. Configuration is already enabled for the auto close. In few editors, configuration will not be there auto close. We have to enable it. Okay, so what is that? Related to independent and dependent tag, you are not going to put much effort on yourself. It has feature from the editor that will come from editor automatically. Once you open the tag, closing will happen. If it is a dependent tag, if it is an independent tag, once you open, closing will not happen automatically. Okay, so for that, what we will do, come to your system. If you are using the Notepad++ editor, for other editor it's already enabled. If you are using other editor, you can just wait for a minute. I will guide the people. In Notepad++, you need to go to the settings. Go to the settings. You have a menus, multiple menus on the top. In that there is an option called settings. Settings. Under the settings, you have first option preferences. Click on that. First option preferences. Click on that. Preferences. After clicking on preferences, left hand side you can see there is an option called auto completion. Click on that auto completion. Auto completion. Hope you clicked on auto completion. After clicking on auto completion, right hand side you will see the 6 check boxes are there. In your case, maybe these check boxes are not checked. 6 check boxes are not checked. It says like auto close. Auto insert is written heading. It says if you open the tag, automatically close will happen. If you open the square bracket or flower bracket, automatically close will happen. If you open double quote, automatically close will happen. If you open single quote, close will happen automatically. If HTML, XML tags, if you open, automatically close will happen according to need. So you can check these 6 check boxes. Check these 6 check boxes. Right, after checking the 6 check boxes, you will close it. After checking the 6 check boxes, close the panel. Okay, now after that, let's go to this example 2 file and follow like this. Your file extension, hope it is HTML, less than symbol, and type there HTML, press the greater than, automatically close will happen. See how I typed? I typed like this. I went down and I started with the less than symbol. where I follow the HTML. After that, I press the greater than with the shift, automatically close happen. That is called dependent tag. Auto insert will happen. It will reduce lot of errors. Now go under the HTML. HTML to HTML is called as a document. Inside the document, you will follow the head. HTML to HTML is called as a document. Under that, you will follow the head and you will follow the body. So that meaning document is break into two sections, head section and body section. Head section is for the all the CSS library, JavaScript library, and any other digital marketing purpose. So now head is not required for us. We need the head from the CSS onwards. Once we come under the internal CSS, in CSS also we have 4-5 types. In that first type, no need of the head section. From the second type onwards, once we start the internal CSS, then we need the head section. So head will follow from the CSS onwards. So let's go to the body. Okay, go to the body part. You have discussed in the developer guide, if the tag will open and close, it is called as a dependent tag. So H1 HTML is also open close and body is also open close. Both are called as a dependent tag. Both are called dependent tag. If closing will be mismatch, if you have not closed properly, then what will happen? Your document will be unstructured document and the browser page will be browser dependent. It will not work in all the browser. Okay, next after that you can see HTML open in the beginning and HTML is closing in the last. Body open in the last but close happen first, right? Can you see that here? HTML open beginning, closing happening in the last. Head open first, head close first, body open last, close in the last. Okay, you have to follow this rule. Okay, this there is a rule from the w3schools.com. The rule says like, if you want to make your page browser independent, if you want to make your page browser independent, you have to follow the two rule. Rule number 1, the tag will open first, should get closed in the last. The tag open first should get closed where? In the last. Rule number 2, the tag is open in the last, should get closed first. If this rule you are not following, your page will become browser dependent. Okay, it will not work, it will not look, it will not behave same in all the browser, because all the browser are designed on different browser engine. So that browser engine will discuss once we come in JavaScript. Okay, all the browsers are designed based on different rule formula, all have different structure algorithm. So if your page, you want to make your page should work in all the devices, you must have to follow this rule. Come to developer guide and you can write that. Okay, what you can write? You can write here. Okay, first note for the tag open first. The tag open first should get closed in last. The tag open first should get closed in the last. The one. The second one, the tag open at last, open in last. Last should get close first. The tag open in the last should get closed first. The tag open first should get closed in the last. The tag open first should get closed in the last. The tag open at last should get closed first. Okay, else what will happen? Else you can write page will be browser dependent. It will not it will not look same, it will not give similar output in all the browsers. Okay, if the tag will open and close will not happen properly, page will get a breakdown in different devices and it will not work. I hope you are written. Now come to that example 2 file. In example 2 file, in example 2 file, we will be making some list of random tags. Few tags will write randomly to understand some more level. Next level. Okay, so hope we wrote this. If the tag open first should get closed in the last. If the tag is open in the last should get closed first. Else page will be browser dependent. It will not behave same in all the browser. It will not look similar. It will not give similar output in all the browser. Now come to this body example to find. So head is a dependent tag, body is also dependent tag. Now right below some other tags to understand the next level. What is that? This one. We have written here dependent tag. We understood, yes, HTML is also open in the current example and close. Body is also open close, right? Next we have this one called which one? Independent block level as well as inline. Okay, and at last we'll see whether it is input tag or output tag. So come now, we are going to write few more tags to understand the last 3 points. So for example, from internet you have seen already H1, H2, H3. I will also follow the same here. H1 I will write, it's called a heading tag. We'll write here called heading 1. Write called heading 2, H2, heading 2. Write one more, H3, heading 3. This is till H6. You can write till H6 continuous. H4, heading 4, H5, H5, heading 5, and H6, heading 6. Okay, hope you have written H1 to H6. H1 to H6, what is the purpose of that? We are going to discuss. We will be making a note, a small line of note. But first, you can see in this example, body is also open close. Is also open close. H1 is also open close. H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. In fact, all are open close. So as per the theory you have written, if the tags are open close, it will come under the dependent category. Yes, the tag is open close, it is called a dependent tag. Okay, now let's run this page. Once you run the page, you will come to know whether it is block or inline. Block meaning is where? New line. Inline meaning is where? Same line. Okay, so after running, we'll come to know whether it is the block or inline. So let's go to the view and run again the page. Which are the method you know to run? Just go and run it. Else, if you are using this editor, go to the view, select in view current file, or go to the folder, double click on example 2. But after saving, you should save the file, then run it. See now, what is happening when we have written the code, we saw yes, it is open close, so it's called as a dependent. Now when the output came in the browser, where it is printing? All are printing in the not same line, all are in the new line. Same line means H1 will come here and H2 will come here. H3 will come here, H4 will come here. This is vertical same line, okay, but horizontally new line, okay. So H1 is a block level tag. H2 is also as a block level tag. H3, H4, H5, H6, these all are as a block level tag. How we are able to identify? Just you wrote the tag, you kept some content, you run the page. Once it came to the browser, then browser engine is printing in the new line, and then as soon as it's print in the new line, yes, it's come under the category of block level tag. Okay. Lot of space are here. H2 can also come in the same line. H3 also can print in the same line. H4, in fact, H1 to H6 all can print in the same line, right? But this tag says like, no, we cannot come in the same line. We will be going to the new line. Okay. Now let's go. Wait a minute. Hello. Yeah, hello. Tell me, sir. You can call after 10:30. Person will be there, they will guide you. Okay. So H1 to H6, what is called? It's called as this one. Called as a block level tag. H1 to H6 is called as a block level tag. Now suppose this H1 to H6 is printing in the new line. We want to print in the same line. By default behavior is to go to the new line. Our requirement says no, all come in the same line. So what we have to do? Only HTML will not help you. You have to call the CSS, and after calling the CSS, you have to change the behavior of H1 to H6. From where to where? From block to inline. Once we change from block to inline, then only it will fit in one line. Else by default, block level tag will go to the new line. After that, when I run the page, you can see it is not asking any kind of input, is it? Or it's giving the input. This is the input or output. This is not input, it's called as a output. It is displaying the output. It is not asking enter your name. It is not asking enter your mobile number. It is displaying some kind of text. So this becomes a what? This becomes a output. So you have got a small clarity on what is the output tag, that is displaying the information. Another one, dependent means open and close. Another one, this one, block level tag. What is that? That print the statement in the new line. So you can see here, all the statements are going to where? New line. Some more tag will write. There we'll get to know this one. Call as a independent tag as well as which one? Inline tag. So let's come to the same file. Example 2 only. Right inside. Okay, in this file, again I'll write some tag that will represent us about the independent tag. Okay, but before writing independent tag, we have to write few tags as a inline. So what are inline? Let me go here and write here a tag called label. We will be writing the small note for all in the next example onwards. This example is just to understand that 6 points. What you have written? Input, output, dependent, independent, block, and inline. Okay. Now label tag I wrote here. Inside the label tag, I wrote a small line called price rupees 300 only. Next, after that, one more, I will write the another one using the bold tag. Suppose a city name in Bangalore. Write one more tag, italic tag. Available for sale. Okay. I will write one more line. U tag, underline tag. Something bidding in process. Okay, so 4 lines we have written. How we have written h1 h2 h3 h4 h5 h6. Similar way I have written 4 more line where you can see label is also open and close. That meaning it's called a dependent tag. Bold is also open close, it's called a dependent tag. Italic I is open close, it's called a independent tag. As well as U tag is also open close, it's called a underline tag. Okay, so you can see the common things in this file. H1 body, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, head, HTML, even label, bold, italic, underline, all are open close, right? That meaning all belong to which category? Dependent. All belong to dependent. Assume bold is not closed here. Suppose if the bold is not closed here, what will happen? Your available for sale, bidding in progress, that all will convert into bold only. All will come as a bold. Okay, that is the next matter to discuss. But let's see, all tags are open close, so you can say all are dependent. Now once we run in the browser, we will come to know who and all are inline and who and all are as a block. Okay, so whichever will print in the new line by default, that will be called as a block, and whichever will print in the same line, that will be called as a inline. Right? So hope you have written. Save the file and check from your side in your system only first. And let me know about label bold I and U. What is that? It's inline or block. Label bold, italic, underline. What is this? It is inline or block. In chat, one reply, two reply has come. Once 7-8 will come, I will have a look in that. Label bold, italic, underline. Correct. These all are 3 people said something. Let have a look once. Inline. Okay, so you are on the track. Everyone should reply. Okay, so let me show you what is that. See, to be a developer, whenever you learn or anywhere you learn, okay, there is only one method that can help you to be a developer. What is that? You have to write the code. You have to write the code. Okay. People who will not write the code, he cannot become a developer. Yes, here. Developer meaning itself the person who write the code, they call as a developer. So you should write it. Okay. So let me go here in the browser and check once. We can see label, bold, italic, as well as underline. All are coming in the same line. So it is called as a inline tag. It's called as a inline tag. Now after B tag, let us press a BR. Without slash will also work here. There is no problem since only HTML you are using. Check once. Check with BR. Check with only BR. Okay, so BR we have given, and then we can find, yes, it is breaking the line now. Line got broken. Okay, now instead of BR, put BR and then last put a slash. See, output remains same, but without slash, if we write this line under the Angular, Angular will give a error saying as a template parsing error. Angular will get the error saying like template parsing error. Without writing the slash, without slash, if you are using this BR tag under the React, it will say JSX fragment mismatch. Okay, so we will keep a better habit. Why to face the problem in the future? Without slash, HTML was working. With slash, also HTML is working. Correct? But without slash, your future will not work. With slash, future will work. So better what to keep? Put the slash. Okay. Okay, that's what I suggest, right? Okay, so let's go ahead now. Instead of BR, now how BR will work? Okay, why the available for sale going to the new line and in Bangalore plus price is coming in the same line. If you write a tag here called HR, HR and BR both are similar with a small difference. Write here HR, then I will guide you what was the actual activity of BR tag. Write the HR, save the file, write the HR, save the file, look into the browser. One line will appear from beginning to last. Line is coming. HR tag we wrote. Let's look at here. One line appear from beginning to last. Now, these two tags was here. Third tag, that is called HR tag. Third tag came in between, and you can see where is the start. Start is from the very beginning, and where is the end of the HR? End of the screen. Now before HR also not a space, after HR also no space. So what will happen? Before tag will be in the first line, and after tag will go to where? New line. Because in the same line there is no space. HR has covered the full line from beginning to last. Exactly same BR was also doing the same. BR was also covering the full width from beginning to last, but BR was not visible. Okay, BR was not visible, so that it has covered the entire space. Since it was not visible, so it was saying, oh, only line break is happened. Okay, HR is also similar, but HR says like, no, I am starting here, I am ending here. That meaning entire area belong to me. Now there is no space before me and there is no space after me. So whatever you are printing, it will go to the first line or it will go to the next line. Okay, because in between space is not there. Similar way happened for the H1 also. H1 is also showing the content how much? Whatever you have written. But what is the area of H1? The area of H1 start from the 0 position and it's go till end of the screen. Now after end of the screen, there is no space. So that what happened? H2 gone to the new line. Again H2 is covering how much? Full width. So what will happen? No space in the same line. H3 has to go to the third line. Look at here. About H6. H6 has cover, content is less, but area belong to how much? Full area, beginning to last. So H6 also says, I have less content, I am agree on that, but from 0 to end, it's mine. So what will happen? Label tag will not get placed to get in the same line. So label tag will go to where? New line. But after the label, I am in Bangalore is printing in the same line. Why? Because label has taken those much of a space that is required for the content. Remaining space label has released. So what happened? Bold is coming in the same line. So this inline and block you are going to discuss under the CSS in better way. But now we will remember two things. If the tag is open close, it's called a dependent. If the tag is only open, it's called as independent. Instead of calling as independent, better you can call it self-closing tag. It represents both. After that, those tags that print in the same line by default is called as inline, and those tags that print in the new line, that's called as a block. So according to the developer guide, which point is clear? One point is clear, yes, all are as a output tag. Another point is clear, that is called as a dependent. Third point is also clear, which one? Independent tag is only open close. And another one should get clear, which one? Block level, means it's printing in the new line. And the fourth point hope should clear, what is that? Inline tag. What are the tag is inline from here? Label, bold, B, I, U. This becomes a what? Inline tag. Correct? Next, we have to see this point. This point is called a input tag. And after that, we'll create the example in sequence. So in your mind, how many keywords will be fit properly? One is called output tag. Next one is called dependent tag. Another one is independent. Next is block, and next is inline. Right. So whichever the tag you have in HTML, whether you create your own or use the predefined, all will come under these 6 categories only. What are input and output, dependent, independent, block, and inline. Your CSS will play around this 6 rule regulation. Your JavaScript will play around this 6 regulation, and HTML have the 6 rule main things. Okay, and this 6 rule what you have written, it is not the rule of HTML4 and rule of HTML5. It is the rule of those things where HTML4 and 5 has come. Okay, so HTML4 and HTML5 plus XML all has come from one place, that's called the SGML. SGML, standardized generalized markup language. Okay, so this SGML has given the rule. Yes, if you are going to follow the web browser, you must follow these 6 rules, and that 6 rules is what? Dependent, independent, inline, block, input, and output. Okay, XML is based on in these few rules. Okay, our HTML4 is based on this rule. HTML5 is also based on this rule. And in React, you will study something called a JSX, JavaScript and XML. So there, JavaScript will remain same. HTML will come in that. XML rule regulation will come. And after mixing of HTML and JavaScript, based on XML rule, it's become a JSX. There we will have a permission to whom? Developer. Developer have a permission to create their own tag. We can write how you are writing H1, H2, BR, HR and all. There in the similar way, we can create our own tag also. Where? Not in HTML, not in CSS, not in JavaScript, where under the JSX. There we have a combination of JavaScript and HTML based on rule of XML. Okay, there we'll get a permission. Yes, you can create your own tag. Okay, that's called a user defined tag. That's little, not little far, it's too far as of now. So just keep in. Now in this file, example2 file, I will add 2 more tag here. Okay, just as an input tag. Let me write here Suppose I wrote here enter name. Okay, one text box I'll create. Input type equal to text. Input type equal to text. It's an independent tag. Another one more I'll write. Enter mobile number. Input type equal to number. Input type equal to number. Both are independent tag. You can see open and close together. You can say self-closing tag also, no problem. Save the files. These both are for the input purpose. These both are for the input purpose. One first will ask the alphanumeric and second will ask only numeric. First will ask the alphanumeric and second will ask only numeric. Okay, let me run this file and see how that look. Okay, save now. Let me run this file. See what is happening. Two text box will appear, but it's coming in the same line. Call it inline. Okay, and after that, open close was together. So become as a independent self-closing tag. And after that, it is asking the input that belong to where? Input tag. Alphanumeric, we can enter anything here. This is only for the numeric purpose. So where you display something, that is called as an output tag. Where you ask something to enter, that's called as an input. Right? So hope this 6-7 point is clear for everyone. Whether you join today class or you join from yesterday, it was the common for everyone. And everyone hope it's understood. Independent tag meaning is what? You can count on the finger. First input tag meaning is what? Those tag where we collect the input from user. For example, if you created a text box. Output tag, those tag where you display the output. Next is what? Dependent tag, those tag that is open close. Independent tag, those tag that is only open self closing. After that, block label tag will print in the new line. Inline tag will print in the same line. Okay. So we will leave this example and come to the developer guide and write the next line. Okay. H1 to H6 you have written here. H1 to H6 you have written. There is some certain meaning for that. Where to use, where not to use. Okay. For example, if you open any website page, example service page, if you open a company service page, it will be written on the top our services. If you open their about us page, it will be written called about us. If you there open their maybe product or other pages, it will written our popular product, our product, right? If you go to the home page, welcome particular company name, something will be written. So there is a word called user experience. User experience. User experience. What is in your mind? What do you think about user experience? Many things. 25 points for the user experience. Okay. When a customer come to your house, how you behave with them, how you offer the service with them, how fast you offer the service to them, how cheaper you offer the service to them, how stable your service, how useful your service, correct? When the customer came, how you respect to the customer. This all comes under user experience. Similar way, when the user, that is called what? Physical customer. But when you talk about the online customer, when the people will come to your website, website is nothing but a virtual shop where you are doing something, you are selling something, right? You are capturing the customer. That is called what? Virtual shop. Now, when the user come to your website, when the user come to your web application, how better look? That is the second point. How fast is loading? That is the first point. When the people search in Google, click on your website link, how fast your page is open, that is the first experience. After opening the page, is it responsive or not? Second experience. After that, page is functional or not? Third experience. Content is useful for the user or not? Fourth experience, right? User data, user credential, whichever is entered by user, is safe, secure or not? Fifth experience, right? Page is browser dependent or independent, that is another experience. Okay. When the people open the page, how, whether user are able to read the content, user are able to understand the content properly or not, that is the next experience. In the same list, under the user experience only, this H1 to H6 is going to come. H1 to H6 says, when the user will come to your page, there must be a single line content that represent about your page. This page is for what purpose? Users should not spend 10 minutes of time to read a few lines and then they understand, oh, this page is for what purpose. They should read a single line. Even they should not put the effort to read the line. Their eyes should understand in the single line. In the single eyes, you can say, in the single eye, it should understand, user should understand this page is for what purpose. It is useful for me or not. Okay. So there, the web technology, not me, I'm not talking about that. Is the Google search engine says in every page, H1 is compulsory. Whichever the page you created, whatever the page you have, H1 is compulsory. And H1 is compulsory, but how many times? Similar heading should not be 10 times. Main heading should be bigger one and subheading should be smaller. So there, H1 is compulsory, minimum and maximum one time in each page. Okay, so each page H1 is required how many times? One time. H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, no problem. You can follow your own way. You write a number down. But H1 is required in every page. Okay. What is the reason behind that? Since Google says when the user is coming to your page, user should not spend long time. Just user should look left to right. He should understand this page is for what purpose. That is called user experience. If they useful for them, they should spend the time. They should come back tomorrow also. If not useful, they should not spend the time. Close it and look forward. Let's go to the other page. Okay, that's called what? User experience. So we will go to the developer guide and we'll make a small note. H1 to H6, where to use and where not to use. Okay. H1 to H6. H1 to H6. It is called heading tag. The heading tag is called heading. Heading tag. Okay. It's called the heading tag. Use H1 minimum and maximum one time in each page. See, matter is now you will talk about the font size. You will say in login page, why I will display such a big font size? No problem. Using CSS, reduce the font size. Using CSS, suppose if we say I have a login page, I want to use the H1, but H1 is looking very big. I want to keep it small. Can I use H3, H4? If you have heading only one time, don't use H3, H4. It's for the subheading. H1 is for the main heading. Then you will say H1 is looking such a big. No problem. CSS is made for that purpose only. Using CSS, what we can do? We can reduce the font size. So for Google rule also it will fit. For your wish also it will fit. Yes, font size is small. And for user experience also it will fit. Right? So we can write here, use H1 minimum and maximum one time in each pages. Okay. Next, H2 to H6. H2 to H6, no such rules. No such rules. You can use a number of time, but depend on your requirement. Okay. It increase user experience. It increase the user experience. Okay, it increase the user experience. Okay, hope written. Now we will prepare for the next file, that is called example 3. So example 3 will explain us the next level of tag. Now here in the web page, as I told you, when you are going to display the data on internet, when you are going to display some content on internet, it is a kind of data only, content only. Instead of putting in the shop, you are putting on internet. People should see. If they need, they can take it, else no problem. So what you have to do as a UI developer, you have a lot of responsibility. Okay, as a UI developer, you will have a lot of responsibility. As I told you, the user experience, UI developer is responsible to make user experience better. Okay, because when you are creating an application from the backend, data will come only one time. When you request API from the backend, data will come 200, 300, 500 records. One request will go to the backend. From there, data will come, 500 records will come. Now the 500 product data, 500 product details, how you are going to display inside the page, that is the work of which one? UI developer. 500 records you have. Now how you can display these 500 records? What type of tag you will follow so that your page should be smart today also, and your page should be smart after 5 years also. Your page should load fast today also, and page should load fast after 5 years also. Your page should become super fast if there is a one user on the website, and page should remain super fast if there is a 20,000 users on the website. It should or not? It should not be like one user, then the website is very fast, and 100 user means become like a auto, become a very slow. Okay, then what will happen? Your website will not be much productive. When the customer increase, application should not lose the speed. It should remain same. So their UI developer will be responsible for many things. Okay. So when you are going to write the tags, when you are going to display the data, you must have to remember, okay, according to content, you have to choose the container. Okay, according to content, we have to choose the content. For example, in the example 2 file, you can see we have used the label tag. Label tag we have used. How much text we have kept? A small text. We have used B tag. How much text? A small text. Similar way, I tag. How much? A small text. Similar way, which one? U tag. A small text. We need to remember our container should not get overflow because of content, and our container should not become underflow because of content. Overflow means what? A small container, more content. 1 liter bucket, 20 liter water. That's called what? Overflow. Remaining will go outside. Underflow means again 20 liter of bucket and 1 liter of water. Where it will be? Under the bottom itself. That's called as a underflow. It should not be like that. It should match. Okay. Your container should match with the content. Then only your page will be super always. Okay. What I'm trying to say, you have to choose the tag according to data. You have to choose the tag according to data. Now label tag we have used. Label. In day-to-day life, what is the meaning of the label? Label meaning a small text. In product, suppose you purchase some product from market, there will be a small label will be the product name, product price, quantity, email ID, mobile number, person name, right? These all are how bigger words, small. Label also represent the same. Label not represent the description. Label represent single line, a small content. Okay, we are going to discuss on that. Okay, which tag is suitable for what purpose? Okay, you should not use any tag for anything. Yes, it will come output. There is no more. You saw BR without slash it was working, but future will not work guarantee. You saw the label, it's working with a 3-4 line. If you put 100 words also, it will work. But there is a concept of capacity and content. Capacity is of 1 KB and data is of 3 MB. What will happen? Speed will become slow. Okay, so those things we have to remember. So we will be writing the, as I have written here, what? H1, we should not use many times in a page. Output will come. I'm agree on that. Okay, output will come. You can design the layout is okay. But your page is not going to follow all the standard. It should follow all the standard. Okay, else when the code review will happen, performance testing will happen, your page will get rejected. People will say you have written very bad code. People will say your page is taking such a long time to execute. It should not take this much. There the page will get rejected. When the page will go for digital marketing, the digital marketer will say this page is not following the rule and regulation. Call the developer again, modify the content. So that will become double effort. So better than that, from beginning only we'll follow the standard, page will be optimized. Okay, come now to this point. Okay, right inside, we are moving under the now in the sequence. Okay, HTML, whichever the tags we have, you understood basic structure. Now remaining whichever the tag you are going to follow, all are based on the 6 rules. Okay, in that now step by step, you can say topic wise, we'll make the note and we'll create the example. Right here, type of list in HTML. Type of list in HTML. Type of list in HTML. First is called OL. It's called the order list. Order list. You may remember, sometime you will see on internet, on in your book, or maybe any kind of pamphlet, papers. If some line displays is come point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, point number 4, numeric. Sometime we will say point will come, but it will not be numeric. A, B, C, D will be there. Sometime you see instead of A, B, C, D, it can be small also, can be capital also. Sometime you see a Roman 1, 2, 3 will come. 1, 2, 3. It can be capital also or a small also. So those things is called this one as a what? Order list. When you are displaying some content in the web page, what is the structure of the order? Is it 1, 2, 3? Or is it A, B, C, D? Or is it Roman 1, 2, 3? What is that? Or you want to create user defined? What you want to do? That is called as what? Order list. It is 5 types. 5 types. We will be making a note of that. Come down. Next we have called UL. That is called unorder list. Unorder list. Unorder list. unordered list. Okay, unordered list. What is the unordered list? Even suppose sometime you display one MCA, two BCA, three something. Instead of ABCD, we can display some kind of symbol also. I will show you. I will open the Word file, and in Word file, I'll create a documentation. In the documentation, while formatting the content, I'll give you some example. You might remember in Word, we have a feature called bullets and numbering. Bullets and numbering. Bullets meaning is what? Dot, 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 checkbox, square, some flower symbol, some kind of different arrow mark. That's called what? Bullets. Numbering means 1, 2, 3, ABCD, Roman 1, 2, 3, right? And when you mix together, OL and UL, when you mix together, it becomes a nested. Or maybe 1, 2, 3, point number 2 have ABCD, point inside the subpoint. Subpoint inside the main point. That becomes a what? Nested application. So we'll write that also here. The third point is a nested OL or UL. Anyone we can make as a nested. And fourth option we have called DL. It's called a definition list. Definition list. Definition list. Okay, 8:30 about to be. I think we should leave here only today. Tomorrow we will spend the time on type of list. 4 type of we have. We will complete that 4 type example tomorrow, and then further we'll plan. Okay, so log in again 7 o'clock tomorrow. See how it is. Then we'll take tomorrow your email ID and mobile number to create the group and give you the video list. Videos are including today should be third videos. One day was introduction. Yesterday I have explained the same 6-7 points, and today you discuss something. Tomorrow we'll share you the video. Tomorrow after class we'll take your email ID, we'll take your phone number. That number we will ask the counselor to create the group in group WhatsApp, and the email ID we will send you the link of video. You can follow that. Okay, so hope it is meaningful.